First of all, much love to Coach Liam Cohen, Shane Waldron, my buddy from Seattle, just organizing a great day for us, getting a bunch of great work, some different situations, some kicks, all the things kind of played out just how we thought. And the Jags just for hosting us here. It's amazing to be in this facility and get a look at what ours is going to be like. We got two full fields next to an indoor, so really just a cool environment for me to kind of take that in and get excited for what's coming.
What were the fan element was interesting, particularly at the beginning of practice. What was that like to play in front of them?
Oh yeah, it was fun. It's great to have Jags fans. You know, we had a couple Panthers fans, so you hear the crowd noise. You know, it's something positive happening for the Jags. For us, we make a big play and it's kind of quiet. That's what it's like being on the road. Kind of cool, you know. So, and I remember it being that way, you know, at our training camp. So hopefully, when we get all of our situations set up, you know, we can get people back out there to bring that energy because it really brought something out special in the guys.
Bryce and Tetairoa seemed to connect, particularly at the end of practice. What did you see from them specifically today, and how has their relationship evolved this year?
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start in the first drive. Jags defense did a fantastic job against the 1-0 on that first drive. The guys settled in, and then Bryce just started finding T-Mac in different ways. He spread the ball around a little bit, but just like importantly for us, explosive passes, touchdowns, things that went into the end zone. It was fantastic to see. Some of those were pretty dirty pockets. That's a really good pass rush group they have over there with Walker and Jaelen and Eric Armstead was getting after it. And so, you know, Bryce had to move a little bit, but T-Mac was where he was supposed to be on time. The ball came up, and they made some fantastic plays today.
What did you see out of Monroe Freeling? This is, you know, his first kind of fire, really. I mean, I know he had limited snaps last weekend, but he got a lot of work in today against, like you said, a really good pass rush.
This was great. You know, he had a chance to sit on that right side in one-on-ones. Walker, Jaelen over there, and they really just, you know, they won a couple times. Monroe sat in there. He's big and strong, sat down and protected the pocket like he's supposed to. It was kind of the same in the practice. Some good, some bad, but battling. And just watching him get really comfortable just with the snap count, with his sets and all the things that he and Joe Gilbert have been working on. So it's good to see him take that next step.
Defense, there was a period where they seemed to struggle. I don't know how much of the defense that you watched, but what did you see from them?
I didn't see hardly any. I caught like the last two plays of two periods, so I can't wait to get back and watch it on film.
Dave, going back to T-Mac for a second, when the offense gets off to a slow start, a difficult start, is it comforting to know that Bryce has someone like T-Mac to go to when things might be shaky at first?
Yeah, absolutely. T-Mac for sure, and the boys, you know, Jaelen, Xavier. But what I saw today was like the further the practice went on, the better our run game got, and guys settled in. Our guys are in great shape. We've had a heck of a camp, and as everything kind of settled down and we were just playing football, we started gaining yards, and Jonathan looked fantastic going downhill. AJ had a couple of really nice runs. Trevor was bouncing in and out of there, and this defense, you know, they were hitting them pretty good, you know, but I just saw the war of attrition really start to play out in a positive way for us in our run game.
Is Devin Lloyd fitting in exactly the way you thought he would?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you what he did today. I didn't see much, but in terms of just a general camp feel, he's a dream to have. He's professional. He's a great human. He plays with his hair on fire, sideline to sideline. And when he steps into the huddle and says the call, there's a confidence that comes with it that this is going to work, and the guys rally around that.
How important is it to be able to have that war of attrition, I guess, like you said, go your way? Because you've been going against yourself, few snaps last week, just to kind of remind them, like, you can settle in and get going.
It's a great confidence for the group in terms of our level of readiness to play games. I know we've been playing preseason games, but to really start to accumulate the loads required to play a regular season game, that's what it feels like down here at the end of that practice. That's what the games are going to feel like. And I saw our guys maintain their fitness level. Got to give a lot of love to Josh Hinks, to Denny Kellington for having our guys ready. Jeff Brown helping me just kind of orchestrate the last couple of weeks with the demands we've asked of our guys. A loaded week before we played the Bills, come back and practice 2 days later in full pads, another half day, travel day, and then here we are practicing again. And so that whole thing flowing so that the guys can feel confident that they can just go full speed and they can handle that.
Sports can be pretty black or white, win or loss. Can you win or lose a joint practice?
You can certainly look at, who had the most success. If we scored it like we do our practices, we can look at it that way. I didn't keep track of that necessarily. I heard some good oohs and ahs happening on the other field. So I know the Jags were making some things happen. Even some of the defensive guys said, hey, they got us pretty early, and then they kind of settled down. We had a successful 2-minute drive at the end. But there's a way to quantify it, in terms of the physicality and all that. I can't wait to watch it and kind of take my assessment of what happened.
Feleipe had a couple of really big catches today.
Yeah.
What has it been like or how fun is it just to kind of watch him grow in that area?
He's been, like you said, daily growth, and whether it's in the run game or the pass game, he's showing himself to be a really reliable target. He's huge, he's fast. That's why he's so dynamic on special teams. For the guys who contribute on teams and don't play as much on offense, it takes time. It takes sometimes years to accumulate the amount of reps it takes to be really technical in your position, and that's what I'm seeing from Feleipe. Was so proud of him today. Got knocked on the ground, okay, kind of a little bit of a late hit, popped up in front of the Jags sideline. Guys were walking toward him, and he backed away, came back to the huddle. It was just like, it was a proud moment for me. So.
Obviously, the tight end room is a little bit different than it was a couple weeks ago with Darren Waller coming in. But Feleipe, as you mentioned, with his special teams experience, does that sort of kind of inoculate him from the uncertainty in that room right now?
It could be. I mean, he's certainly one of the top special teams players in the league, in my opinion, just in terms of his physicality, how he gets off of blocks, how he blocks on the return, in the return game. So in that phase, I think he's an elite player. As a tight end, he's continuing to grow and develop. This is a really competitive room. When you start to get an overloaded room, but someone is a critical special teams player, then the competition kind of spreads out to other positions. So it's the determination of, can we carry an extra back when we need this extra tight end? Can we carry an extra inside linebacker or safety when we have this guy that we're counting on if there's a receiver that brings special? So Dan and I have to really look at that picture, and that's where it gets really hard and really tricky for us. But all these guys are trying. All these guys are putting great effort out here. We got another game coming up to evaluate how they can help us.
Dave, in a general sense, where have you seen the biggest progress defensively during this camp?
Really just the consistency of communication is what I've seen. And where we started off last year, we added some new pieces. We added a few more this year, but these are veteran guys that kind of, Jaelen, Phillips, Devin Lloyd come right into the mix and immediately have that kind of interaction and communication with their groups, with the front, with the backers. Certainly in the secondary, there's a lot of carryover there, but I've seen those groups really start to gel and galvanize, and that's what I'm hopeful for, is that we can just get that elite level of communication. Ajero came off and said there were still a couple of things that we misaligned to. We can clean those things up, but in general, speaking of the camp, that's what I've seen from this group. It's a group that's coming together really quickly.
Can I ask about injuries real quick? Any injury updates? I know.
Yeah, a couple. So we just had Xavier. He got rolled up on a little bit, had some soreness. They evaluated him. They were able to look at it. He was fine. As a precaution, we held him out for the chance to get him back on Friday to play in that first group. So we held him back out. Anything else, Bruce?
David Moore left for a minute, but I think he went back to the drills.
Yes, that was a private matter. Then Jaelen Phillips came off at the end. They checked him out, checked his wrist, his elbow. They're going to just check that out a little bit, but he said he was fine. He said he would finish. We held him out as a precaution, so we'll evaluate that when we get back.
Thank you, Coach.
Cam Jackson had a concussion in practice on Monday, and he's in the protocol right now until we clear him further.
All right. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.